Welcome to November 2022's Battle of the Believability.
On this month's episode, we are talking about two unique topics.
Yeah, and we're only doing two because we don't do listener submissions because we're not trying to hurt feelings.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's just going to be top and bottom, no middle. Keep your eyes peeled for the bracket. If it's not already up on Instagram, it will be. The first topic we're talking about today is airline UFO encounters. This was basically, I love this episode. It was all encounters. Pilot, a passenger, someone, an animal in carriage, somebody looking out the window and seeing some sort of UFO, whether it's a creature potentially, a little speck flying by, or a straight-on UFO where you can see shadow figures inside.
And the next episode we have is the succubi and the incubi. Essentially boils down to sex demons that sneak into your bedroom at night and drain the energy life force from you.
Yes. If you want to listen to those episodes, they are in the description below.
When I started researching it, I didn't think it was going to be like, I thought it'd be like, oh, it's kind of funny. It's succubi, it's incubi. Ha 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 ha. It was not funny at all. It turned out to be not very funny. It was very serious, actually.
The succubus and the incubus. That's right. So those are the only two. Again, I'll just reiterate this. We are going to decide which one we think is the most believable, which one we think is most unbelievable. At the end of the year, we are going to look at all of the most believables and rank them. And so we are going to come up with the most believable episode that we did all of 2022. And the same thing for the most unbelievable. That will be a separate video. But for all these middle episodes that are second or third in our rankings, Charlie, tell them what they can expect for those middle episodes.
Okay, those middle episodes, when we started this project, we thought they were just going to fall into the abyss. Never heard from again. But about halfway through the year, we decided, what if we took those episodes and picked them up and they got their own bracket? And at that point, everyone who watches the videos, listens to episodes, gets to vote on Instagram where they think those episodes should go. Believable or not believable. Yep. We're going to have a competition.
It's like a Battle Royale March Madness bracket, and they are all going to face each other, and the winner of that will get to be the second most believable topic that we've talked about on Believing the Bizarre. But with that said, let's get into the screen. We're there. It's just 1 and 2 this time. Second place is as good as last place.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you have to win.
You have to win. Win or go home.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I know my winner.
Okay, so let me lay the battlefield.
Please.
So we have a demonic-like entity. It actually is considered a demon.
Yes.
Male or female that...
Succubus is female, incubus is male.
Yes. That will sneak into your bed at night and kind of give you a form of sleep paralysis and then force itself on you. Or people in airplanes in the sky may be seeing aliens.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of encounters versus some very traumatic personal experiences.
Yeah, which they're hard to discount.
Oh, yeah. This isn't about saying one's real, one's fake. It's just,
right.
It's gauging which one we think is just slightly more believable.
That's fair, yeah.
So, since you feel strongly, I'm not saying I don't, but since you feel strongly one way or the other, let me hear it.
Okay. All right. So, you and I will both say we are somewhat biased, and we do believe in two things.
Yeah.
Ghosts
and
aliens.
Yes.
Do we think the succubi and incubi are ghosts?
No, even by nature, demons, correct?
In theory, yeah.
In theory.
However, there was some evidence presented in that episode. Do you remember the historical encounters?
Oh,
that almost worked against it because of how ridiculous they were.
Yeah, ridiculous is the key word for sure.
Although the personal encounters we did discover were, like you said, traumatic, and they were almost moving because of how powerful they could have been. Mm-hmm. But there are potentially other factors at play. One of them, not the least most, mental health. Also, sleep paralysis, other types of conditions that could factor into this kind of entity.
Also, and I think this goes for a lot of different things we've talked about, And it works for both of these cases here, is the idea of something being not what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for the airline UFO encounter, I think you could discredit it that, okay, maybe it was a weather balloon that they saw. There's that one where there's, like, that little speck. You know, I remember thinking maybe that was a weather balloon. Or, you know, is it birds? Or there's other lights or, like, you know, things like that. Where the succubi and the incubi, I feel like even if somebody experiences something like that, could it be another entity entirely rather than...
Could it be another entity? Could it be something else even?
Yeah, or it's just a demon that we just happened to put in this box. I know this is something I mentioned on the episode. Sorry, but you had a...
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. That was my next point, is that these things that we're talking about might not be what we think they are.
Mm-hmm.
You could almost say with all their episodes.
Yeah, it's true.
However, with that bias, I feel as though I lean toward airline more believable than the succubi and incubi.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I already believe in aliens. I think that whether or not aliens have been here, it's crazy to believe that there's nothing else out there. And there's decades of experiences of so many, it's different nationalities, it's different people, it's different professions.
Different continents,
different types of explanations, different types of encounters, lights, ships, people on the ground catching ships on their radar that don't make sense, ships moving in angles that they shouldn't, like you mentioned, the Slave One, Boba Fett ship in Star Wars, how it just doesn't move properly. Like, and even though there could be centuries of encounters with the succubi, the incubi, it's just, I'm with you. I think based on what I believe and the amount of encounters and how prevalent they are and how much they match to certain degrees, I have no problem putting airline UFO encounters 1.
Yeah.
And succubi and incubi 2, which means that airline UFO encounters is going on to fight for the most believable episode topic that we've done in all of 2022. I do not think succubi and incubi will be the most unbelievable, but it will be fighting for its life, or their lives.
Yeah.
In the most unbelievable.
There's some pretty silly things in there, so.
Wampus, cat, and fairies, just to throw two off the top
I
of
did
the
do
nog.
both of those, so.
Hey, it's okay. You also did succubi and incubi.
I did, yeah.
All right, so this is a little bit of a shorter one, but that is our Battle of the Believability for November.
That's what happens when you only have 2.
That's what happens. The rest were listener submissions. But next month, guaranteed to be 3. So there will be a middle one. We have like a wild card in our bracket right now. So if you're enjoying this, make sure to check out the episodes we discussed if you haven't already. If you're listening on podcast platforms, please leave the 5-star review. Let us know what you're thinking. We listen to it. We share it with each other. We share it with the world.
So thank you for watching the video. And if you want to see these videos, more videos, go ahead and check on the side. I'm sure it's all there.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the sides. And also the description, if you want to support the podcast, we do have a Patreon. Ton of bonus extra content, extra video content on there, like director's cuts. But thank you everybody so much for watching, and stay tuned for next month's Battle of the Believability.